Welcome back, everybody, to Catching You. I'm your co-host, Rusty Ham. With me, my beautiful daughter, Lacie. Lacie, say hi.
Hello.
You are home from Puerto Rico.
I am
You've been home for a while,
like
couple weeks.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. You're in your room. You are about to embark on another adventure. When do you leave for Australia?
September
Late
23rd.
September 23rd.
Yeah.
For how long?
Until May 23rd of 2026.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. Are you excited?
I am. I'm trying to get my accounts in order,
Yeah.
but some stuff you have to do when you get there. Some stuff you can do like a bank account, but I have to wait till I'm 2 weeks out. So that's in September. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna be away in another. What's the time difference? 12 hours, something like that.
So right now it is 9:30 a.m. tomorrow in
9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Okay.
So
So yeah,
interesting.
we have to figure out. This might be. We might have to do a couple podcasts and then.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to get a job too, and that's
Oh,
gonna.
that's right.
But what I did is I put the time in South Australia on my phone, like on the world clock, and so I could just see what time it is. But I also put the Marietta one there, so they're side by
Okay.
side. So you could be like, oh, it's this time in
So what time is it there now?
9:30 a.m.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. You're just
maybe in the morning.
yeah. You'll be in the morning. I do it at 5 o'clock. It doesn't matter. Um, well, there's a couple things you need to do, right? You need to learn how to drive on the other side of the road,
Yes. And on the other side of the car.
on the other side of the car. So you're gonna have to. I'm sure there's gonna be some going down the wrong, the wrong way.
I hope
So
not. I hope not. My teammate Taylor said it's very easy to get used to, and she drove my car a couple times, so
right,
and she was
yeah, and very cool. And then so, I mean, essentially, because when you go there, there's summertime is starting to pick up, right?
yeah.
So basically, there's no winter for you. You have no winter uh,
I
at
mean, I
all.
really haven't experienced a true winter though. I mean, it gets cold in California, but it doesn't snow.
There's snow, but you're up in the bay, so it's it's
It's
raining
true.
a lot. There's a lot of rain. There's a lot of it gets cold. But you're gonna go to Australia, and by the time you get there, there's summertime starting to pick up. So you're gonna leave one summer to go to another summer. So good stuff. We're gonna meet you out there. I think we're talking 3 weeks for Christmas. That's gonna be so much fun. I
Mhm.
can't wait. And then what city again? So people know that where you're going in Australia.
I'm going to be in Adelaide in South Australia, and I'm going to be playing for the Port Adelaide Magpies.
Magpies? Do you know
The
what a magpie is? I don't know.
It's their state bird.
It's a state bird. Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
And then there's some extracurricular stuff that you're supposed to do. Contractually, you have to do what is some of the things you need to do as far as uh, your involvement on the team? What else do you have to do?
Well, I am on a work holiday visa, so I'm gonna have to find a job outside of softball, and then I get to coach a little 12U team, part
There
of
you
my
go.
contract. So I have to fill out this work with kids application for Australia because
Because
just because, and then I'll be coaching one of it's because Port Adelaide that league or that team, it's basically like a glorified like travel ball team too. So I'll be playing in like the open team, like with just people above like I think 20, 21 or 22 years old.
Yeah.
So anyone can play up in that team. And then there's U12, U14, U16, kind of like how travel ball is set up. But
Gotcha.
they're also like the Magpies too.
Right. And then your team, it's almost like Puerto Rico, where the age range is
They're a little
ranges
bit
from
older, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if like it's similar to with like 40-year-olds.
Right.
You know, I had a 43-year-old on my Puerto Rican
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, you had a mother-daughter combo.
But I had multiple mothers on my team. and But it was cute. They would bring their kids to the games and then we would play with the kids.
Right.
So
Um
I don't know if it's that extreme of an age difference. I think they're just a few years older than me.
right.
So I don't know.
Okay. Well, a good segue into kind of Puerto Rico, your experience in Puerto Rico. What I wanted to do was read. You post on LinkedIn, not all the time, but when you do, it's really cool. And I wanted to read it, and then I wanted to get your kind of your feedback, or just maybe add on to it. But your post said about 2 weeks ago, I wrapped up my summertime playing in the softball superior, and I don't know Spanish. I don't know.
It just basically says
So I got it. So, but it's out of it's out of Juncos, Puerto Rico. This was an experience I will never forget, and learned a variety of things about myself as a player and as a person. Here is what the opportunity to play on the island entailed. 1. Living by myself for 4 weeks regular season in San Juan, immersed in their culture. 2. Practicing 2 times a week with my wonderful team in Juncos, building cohesiveness, friendships, and a strong bond with the women. 3. Double headers against the other teams in the league every weekend on the regular season, enjoying the different cities of Puerto Rico and the fans. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Well, I did on my last episode. 4. Coming back for playoffs after finishing 4th in the league and making it to the semifinals against the number 1 seed, Bravas, out of the city of Sidra. 5, I believe that's 5, competed against multiple women that I grew up watching and idolizing, feeling honored to play on the same field and the level as them. And then the last one, earning Player of the Week for my team, as well as all SSNF first team honors for the season 2025. As I reflect on my time as a Valenciana, I think I'm saying it right. I just can't help but be grateful for the opportunity to continue playing and competing at a high level. The post-grad realization that my times as a college athlete is over dawns on me at certain moments. But my experience in Puerto Rico gave me back the light that ignites when I compete. College athletics can sometimes bring immense pressure to impress everyone around you, as well as trying to push through the balancing act of school and sports. Puerto Rico softball allowed me to be fully myself without the extended mental load, and it felt free. My passion for the sports psychology only grew from this experience, with the want to bring that flow state and love for competition out of up and coming athletes at every level. Sport is not something that you are, but it is something that you do. Wow.
And I curated.
And you curated that. You didn't create it, you curated it.
Just for context, he was asking me what I meant by curated the message.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a Keurig, when you make coffee.
Oh yeah,
That's what it sounded like.
yeah, curated.
So a lot of good stuff in there, Lace. let me just talk about the fans part. Because we went there and visited when you were in the semifinals. One of the best games, and then because I was going to reflect, because you're going to coach a 12U team,
Yeah.
and that, I mean, I think we can both agree your 12U years were kind of one of the highlights of your. You don't want to be, but I mean, world championships, champions, and then third place in PGF. Um, great stuff. Great, you develop some great relationships in 12U. Now you get to coach 12U, which is kind of cool. But going to Puerto Rico during the semifinals, one of the best games. Mom and I talk about it. It's one of the best games we saw you pitch. Your passion when you struck that girl out, and you came up to the crowd, and you're like, "Let's go!" and you're like trying to get us all hyped up, and and it's a different culture, right? Because there was drums, there was horns, and it was just back and forth, and we were like, it was just fun as a parent to watch you, and we weren't like hiding,
Yeah.
like you were talking about college, where you're trying to impress people, And I talked about when you used to pitch, it used to be a reflection on me. Like if you pitch bad, then I felt like I was a bad father. I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But it was just great just to sit back and enjoy watching you play. So talk about the other stuff that you wrote in there and kind of reflect what it all means.
I mean, yeah, that game that you guys came, we lost I mean, when you get to the playoffs and you start in quarterfinals, because eight teams go to the quarterfinals, it is a 2 out of 3 series setup. So quarterfinals, we won our first 2 games against the first team that we played in quarterfinals, so we got to go to semifinals. The semifinals weekend, obviously Cedra, um, going to my bullet point about playing against people that I idolized and growing up with, Cedra's #1 pitcher is none other than Taryn Alvalo, who went to the World Series and was pitching for Washington when I was maybe like coming out of middle school into going into early high school. So I mean that was prime time of when I was watching World Series and college softball, and she was one of the most like successful pitchers going into that whole NCAA season.
Right.
And here I am in a pitcher's duel with her. And it's like it I never really wrapped my mind around it. I don't think until that game, because that game was so intense, and Puerto Rico softball culture is very cutthroat, and we're like going back and forth, we're maybe saying some choice words to each other. You would never see that in college softball. Never.
No, there was cussing and there was pointing fingers
Yes.
and the dugouts, by the way, the dugouts were uh, just feet from the home plate.
Maybe
Probably 5 feet. It was like 5 feet. So there was screaming
yeah.
and yelling and
There's chirping going on, and I mean this is being streamed. This is not, but compare it to college softball. Say you're in the World Series, you're on national television where millions of people are watching you,
right.
and you can't chirp like that. You can't turn to the other dugout and use choice words. It's going to be all over the internet. Um but in this culture, in this kind of area, you feel like you can do that, and it gets the crowd pumped up, it gets your team pumped up. I mean both teams had a good amount of fans, I'd say. I'd probably Cedar had a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I got to meet Taryn and everything, and she's really nice, and she's like, it's like, she kind of reminded me of just myself in a way where on the field, you act like a total, like, biatch and competitor, but then off the field, you're like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. My name's Lacie. Like, it's just 2 different people, because obviously as a pitcher, eyes are on you all the time, and sometimes you can't be the nice guy. You have to act like you are better than everyone. And that's why people like are like pitchers are princesses and
Yeah.
they're really mean. It's like, no, most of the successful pitchers act like that because one, you got to have good body language and you got to have a good mindset. Like I'm better than everyone. If you go out and think like, oh, like these hitters are really good, like you're probably not going to be that successful.
Right.
So, um what else? Oh, I mean obviously during the summer or the past maybe 2 summers I have had done summer school. And those summer school classes are like 4-week courses where I'm doing maybe 5 quizzes per week, and I did 2 long research papers within those 4 weeks and 3 exams in those 4 weeks. And this was my first summer that I didn't have any summer school. Um and like it I could just really just focus on softball, which was really cool. And in a place where there's so much things to explore. Like we went to the forest, we went to Old San Juan, where else did we go? We tried different food. Like it's a place where you can go explore, and I got to learn all about their culture, and they're trying to teach me Spanish, and I find it difficult, but I didn't grow up around Spanish speakers, so
You
uh,
learned all the bad words, right?
yeah, they love teaching me bad words for sure, and they want me to scream it
Right.
on the field.
Yeah.
Um,
So let me go back to. So I think you're kind of going that way, which is post grad,
oh yeah.
and the realization, because that the last couple sentences really got me. Kind of got me choked up because I didn't know you felt this way. But college athletes can sometimes bring immense pressure to impress everyone around you, as well as trying to push through the balance of school and sports. So you're kind of just talking about that, right? The balance of summer school
Mhm.
and then Puerto Rico softball allowed me to be fully myself without extended mental load, and you felt free. So explain that last sentence there. Kind of expand on that.
So being able to play in Puerto Rico and then you get to compare it to like my last 4 years playing in college athletics. Um, there's so much that goes on like around you when you're a college athlete. And one of the first things you do is you have a compliance meeting with compliance at your school. And you go over a whole PowerPoint for maybe an hour and a half about all the things you can't do as a college athlete. You can't sports bet, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. And it's like when you are in public and you're wearing, say, San Jose State across your chest, you have to be the perfect, you have to encompass what a San Jose State athlete like looks like or acts like and all that stuff. And you just have to remember that all the time. So, because at any point you could be like photographed by someone in the airport or at a food place if you're being disrespectful to a worker, and they're like, email the admin, and now all of a sudden you're in trouble. And so, but not only that, it was like going in as a freshman, you're fighting for playing time. You have all these experienced college girls on your team that have already a year or 3 under their belt of college athletics, and you're going in straight off travel ball thinking you're like, oh, this is going to be great. But you really have to fight for a spot and like fight to get better and go in the weight room and like show your weights coach that you have been working out over the summer, or that certain movements, and you have to go to practice, and you have to, it's like you have to know the team culture right when you get there. You obviously don't, you kind of learn maybe within the first month, but I find that throughout my 4 years, the freshmen, the first month, really struggle to adapt to college athletic culture. So, say with my team, I'm going to use it as an example. We're Adidas and we're sponsored by Adidas. Then we transferred over to Under Armour. And so that was a whole different shift within all of athletics. And even on our, like, the social media teams, they can't post anything with us wearing, if we're wearing anything other than Under Armour, we will get in very big trouble. And we could get our budget cut, which is not good. Not good.
Small. Softball's budget
Small
small.
school. It's a small school. So there were some freshmen that we offered, you could go to a store, maybe like a sporting goods store, and just buy a pack of Under Armour socks, maybe for like 10 or 12 bucks. And we all had to do it. Our department wasn't giving us socks. Either wear plain socks or Under Armour socks. Nothing else. People were showing up in Nike socks. People were showing up with graphic socks. People were showing up with Adidas socks. It's like, guys, what are we not understanding? Like, it's not travel ball anymore where you can show up and wear anything you want. You have to abide by our rules. And you have to do that. Like, it's a culture thing. And that's where it starts, but then it gradually increases to, like, going back to the impressing part. Like, you have to impress your coach and you have to impress your teammates. Like, as a freshman, I felt like I had to prove myself to the older girls that I was good enough to be there. And then, honestly, that happened every single year. Like, you have to prove yourself that you're good enough to be at that level. And
yeah, they didn't care that you just came off of,
no,
Alliance, tier 2 championship. They didn't care.
no, they threw, as a freshman, they really threw me in there.
Yeah.
They really threw me in there. And you just have to be, okay, coach,
Okay.
give me the ball. And, like, it's like you can't be scared, but the fear is there. If I mess up, she's a freshman.
Right.
She's a freshman. She's not ready. And
So
so
this-
that's kind of what I mean by the pressure of it all. It just, like, compiles every single year. Like, as a senior, I was expected to be in a leadership position.
Right.
But that's a whole nother different pressure than being a freshman.
So what do you mean by fully me? Like, fully myself? What is that? What do you mean by that? You said you were able to be fully myself.
So
in Puerto Rico.
there were some points in the season where I felt like our team had a lot of talent. It kind of reminded me of San Jose State a little. We didn't have these big home run hitters like these other teams had. We had speed. We had, like, small ball. We were always bunting. Great defense. Great plays on defense were made. And sometimes I felt like we were just, like, lacking, like, I don't know, lacking that push a little bit. Like, throughout the regular season, we didn't beat a team, like, because I said we were playing double headers. We didn't beat a team twice, ever. It was, like, split all the time. Split. And I was just like, hey, the one game that we would win, we'd win by, like, 5 or 6 runs. And to me, if we were beating a team by 5 or 6 runs, we should beat them all the time.
Right.
So there were some points in the season where I had to, like, I felt like I could be the leader that I was meant to be. And then I felt I couldn't really be in college due to what I was talking about earlier.
Right. Okay.
So take the semifinal game, for example. We lost the first game pretty bad. It was some bad softball. And so I started the second game, and for us to continue to go to the finals, we had to win that game and then play another game the next day. So it's like the second inning. They score 1 run in the first, and I notice when we're up to bat, everyone's just sitting like on the floor of the dugout, like in crisscross applesauce, like we're in preschool,
Right.
and like not really. There's no energy. There's nothing. And what I know about my team is we're annoying and loud, and I was just appalled. Like what is going on? It's like we were defeated already in the second inning due to the first game, how the first game went. First game, we were loud and up on the gate and all of this stuff, and I know that they're capable of it. And so I think I went out to pitch another time, shut it down like three up, 3 down or something. And I came back in and I was screaming my head off. Like, choice words were made, obviously. Like, get your butts off the ground and scream. I don't care. I want to play tomorrow. I kept saying, I want to play tomorrow. Do you guys want to play tomorrow? And they were like, yeah. I
Are
was
you
like,
sure?
I was like, then support each other, like encourage each other, like get up off the ground and scream your heads off. Like this could be the last game of our season. But I want to play tomorrow. And I think it changed the momentum of the game a little bit. They all got up and stuff, and it's not like it wasn't that I was leading on the field, which I try to do like through performance. Like you can lead through your performance, but I got to lead through like vocal and words this
Yeah,
time.
because in college, you were never a vocal leader. Senior year was your leadership year, and we talked about it. And you're like, well, I'm not like a screamer. I don't like get them in huddles and chew them out. I don't, you don't do
Yeah.
that. You just your leadership comes from your work ethic. Number one, the way you carry yourself, and then number two is your performance on the field, and that's how you lead. But this was a little different because, like I said, you were, after a strikeout, you were like coming to the crowd and trying to pump us up, which I saw a different Lacie. I'd never seen a Lacie like that before, right? Where you're coming to the crowd, which, because always in travel, you never lay eyes on the crowd. You're never supposed to look in the crowd, never look at your parents. You always just to focus on your teammates in the field. Even if there's coaches out there, you don't look at the coaches. And then in softball too, or at college, you weren't like, you sort of said hi to us every once in a while. You had that freedom, but this was way different. This is like, and that's where I saw the freedom, right? You said, because at the very end of your post, you said you felt free, and that's what's cool. And it brings us back to your junior year when things weren't like, I don't know if I like softball anymore, or I don't know if I want to come back to the school anymore, to having a good senior year because you have a different pitching coach, and then being able to, go to Puerto Rico and then talk about it, because you're a competitor, right? You don't like to lose, but talk about, and we'll end on this, talk about your mindset as far as winning and losing.
Yeah.
Right, because we said we talked about it before, like in travel ball, like winning was everything.
Yeah.
College, like
You have to win.
you gotta win.
You have to win. Like there's no other option.
So to describe that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of leads into your last quote, which is it was free, like you felt free. So
Yeah.
describe that feeling.
It's a different because they honestly in the Puerto Rican league they do value winning. They do value it. And when we would win, it'd be like, great job. Like you guys did it. Like that's how it's supposed to be. Or like it looked like you guys had fun, blah blah blah, and then we break and then we leave. Say travel or college, we say we win. There would be obviously some pretty big games, like when we beat Cal, like Coach Tammy had nothing but great things to say. Like it was like great job. Like, your energy was there, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes when we would win, there'd still be things like, you need to work on this, you need to work on this, you should have done this better. Obviously, like, Coach Jamie did a great job of pointing out the great things that we did first and doing shout outs and everything. But then there was always still something to work on. And it's like, is it ever enough? You know, like, there were some games where I felt like I pitched my butt off. It's like, well, you could have done this better. And if you didn't do that, then we would have won. It's like, oh my gosh, like, people. I would rather, in that moment, highlight the good things, because as a player myself, I go to the negative pretty often. Like, how I would text you after a game, like, this went wrong, this went wrong, this went wrong, and you're like, well, what did you do good? Like,
Right?
what did you do well? And I'm like, oh, and then sometimes I would have to really think about what I did well.
Right.
But in this, like, the Puerto Rican softball, it was like, when we would lose, they'd be like, all right, like, we'll just get back to practice on Tuesday and we'll work on it and see you guys Saturday. Or it's like, we'll get back to it Saturday. And when we lost in the semifinals, it was more of just like, we were like grateful for each other and like we got to play together and like nothing's promised. So like we were just like grateful for each other in that, and it didn't really matter, like softball didn't really matter in the end. And it was, I kind of felt that throughout the whole season, like the team and the fans are like very family oriented. So it's like, once you're on the team, you're family, like literally right away. And, you know, Tatiana's grandma's taking care of me. Her aunt is taking me to breakfast with her son, and I'm meeting all these like my teammates' children, and I'm playing with their children after the game, like, and I'm meeting all these different people, and it's more than softball there.
So you're honorary, what do they call you?
Baricua.
Honorary Parigua?
Boricua. Puerto Rican woman.
Puerto Rican woman.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had such a good time. I'm glad you kind of you had the passion last year as a senior, right? Because you're doing well. You kind of felt, okay, yeah. I mean, this is how it's supposed to feel.
Well,
But
that's what Coach Taylor would always tell me, is like, go play free. And I didn't really know what that meant until kind of like towards the end of the season was when I started playing better.
right, and when you came back in between the regular season for Puerto Rico and the playoffs, you had one bullpen, maybe.
Not even a full bullpen.
Yeah, like a half bullpen.
I did maybe like some arm circles with you, and I was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, and so that, and it was 3 weeks off, and there was one time you're just like, I'm just gonna do some arm circles, and then you go back there and you kick butt. So, that's awesome.
There's a lot of muscle memory there. Once you get to, I feel like junior, senior year of college, it's just more muscle memory.
Well, even I said, because you weren't going like full speed, and like even you're like 75% was like fast. I was like, whoa.
What did you say? It's a heavy glove?
It's a heavy ball, right?
A heavy ball.
A heavy ball. Yeah, it was different from years past. So good stuff. I love you, sweetie.
Love you.
Can't wait to catch you in Australia.
So fun.
Good stuff.
The time difference is gonna be. I'm gonna be saying Happy New Year, and you're gonna be like waking up on December 31st.
That's right. Yep. All right, sweetie.
Or actually, will you be there for New Year's?
Yes. We're gonna be there. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.